And welcome back to another episode of the 343 Football Podcast here on the Sportycast YouTube channel. My name is AF. He is Jason. We are never ever on the same page, but I love it like that. I wouldn't want it anywhere else. Jason, how are you doing, my buddy?
I'm good. I'm happy to be back in Sportycast HQ. I think it's the first one for the year.
It is the first one
also, I think since I can't remember the last time we've recorded and both of our teams have both won a game on the same weekend. I think the last time we've both won a game on the same weekend was around Christmas, which makes sense. It's festive. Everybody's giving out points there.
Hey.
But I can't remember the last time we've recorded and our teams are in a good thing. So this has to have been something. Has to stand for something, isn't it?
It's meant to be, man. It's meant
100%,
to be.
100%.
A momentous occasion.
We are also welcoming back our friend of the channel. I think this might be the 5th or 6th time we have her back on the channel. Ash Pregueiro, one half of the Manchester Derby. How are you doing?
I'm good. Happy to be back with you guys. Unfortunately, I can't banter you too much. I'm the banter one at the moment.
It's weird how things happen, eh? How the turntables. And finally, we have a newcomer to the channel. You might have heard her on Goodhope FM, reading some news. You might have, I don't know where else you'd see her, probably somewhere in Cape Town, maybe on the Sea Point Promenade. But we have the lovely Tada Lee here with us, joining us for the first time. Welcome to the channel.
Hi, thank you for the introduction. I'm very excited to be here. I don't know. I feel like
it's the same space.
Up your sleeve.
Like a Liverpool fan meets a United fan, meets an Arsenal fan, meets a City fan. What could go wrong?
And what a combo.
It's going to be amazing. But as is customary on this channel, we always have an icebreaker for a newbie on the show. And Jason quite nicely just like spoiled that backstage. I was going to blindside Tada a bit.
I was going to act blindsided now.
Do we want it to be back? That's the question. We don't blindside the guests.
We do. Of
but
course we
what
do.
A question you have lined up.
But the question is, you are having dinner. There are 3 football personalities, past or present, who you can invite to this dinner. Who would it be and why?
Okay. Sure. Okay.
What a question.
What a question. Okay. Sure, this is a difficult one. It's very, very difficult. I'm having dinner. I can only choose
say like Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike, and whoever else is scoring for Liverpool at the moment.
Have to reward those guys.
That's how you can make the decision,
Okay. I think actually, and this may be a surprise, I would want to include Cristiano Ronaldo in that.
Ooh.
It is a surprise, but he's truly, when talent meets hard work, I just would love to have a real conversation with somebody like him. As a sports person, he would be such an amazing. I mean, I wonder what I would serve him, because he probably wouldn't eat any of my food because so healthy. I was thinking more about the dinner than the guest. Listen, I'm thinking about both. And then it would be absolutely amazing to have dinner with Stevie G.
Nice.
And pick his brain, because I think because we're having a private dinner, he will answer my questions honestly, and we won't be hearing any media training.
Answer.
Exactly. And then the third person, it would be
Tough to narrow down.
It is tough to narrow it down because now I'm thinking of like everyone who it could possibly be, dead or
And got
alive.
one left.
Think about this, right? You have a South African, a Portuguese, and a Scouse. That lost in translation is just gonna be. Everybody's gonna be trying to figure out what the other's trying to say. I think you have to have like Luis Suarez there just for the fun of it. Well, I think
You can fight someone.
Yeah, it is a dinner.
I'll be careful.
Benny McCarthy is a good one, but I feel like I can grab Benny McCarthy and have dinner with him anytime. Yeah, exactly. This is somebody who hasn't been attainable for me. Does it have to be?
It can be any football personality. It doesn't even have to be anybody that you've seen play in your lifetime.
I will have Jurgen Klopp there as well.
Wow.
I was wondering if that would have been your first pick. I was like, okay, she's probably going to be like Jurgen Klopp, Steven Gerrard, and maybe
I didn't want to only go like the Liverpool route. I wanted to be a little neutral.
Benny and Jurgen, you'd most likely get in like Outbay or something. Jurgen is more in Outbay than he is
this is true.
Merseyside.
But I've never had dinner with him before. And so he's on the list.
No, fair play.
Yeah. Okay, lovely. It will be a very interesting dinner. I saw somebody in the chat say that you must probably serve them a Gatsby or something, which is, I think,
tradition.
A proper cuisine. So, yeah, that would be
Imagine Ronaldo eating that.
I can't. I'm a salad steak with some slap chips. I can't.
Just tell him there's salad on there. That's all. Just tell him they eat salad. It's fine.
Look at the lettuce.
Somewhere there.
Yeah.
Cool. Moving on to our first segment of the show, and that's a quick little weekend roundup. We're going to be spotlighting 3 games that happened over the past few days. And Ash, I'm going to start with you. I don't know if Migs can hear. Maybe you can bring some tissues over to you or something. City versus Spurs. Tell us what you were going through. Like that first half, you guys were in control. I don't know what happened at halftime, but just tell us what your feelings were during that entire game.
I was like experiencing a lot of emotions, and I was like, I just need to take a deep breath in. No, it was incredibly frustrating because obviously going into a game against Spurs, they have been our bogey team over the years. We all know this, okay? And it's been, I think, the past few fixtures only that we've actually gotten the better of them, especially at their stadium. And even looking at their team at the moment, they literally said there were like 11 players of theirs that were out. So I'm like, everything is going towards City. Like, yeah, even if we're not great, we can take advantage of their weaknesses. And then Solanke was like, you know what we're going to do here instead? We're not going to allow that to happen. And the thing with him as well is like, he hadn't even scored against City in his career until that game, okay? So you can imagine, as soon as the commentator mentioned that, I was like, don't you dare. Because the whole commentator curse as well. But I'm still kind of trying to figure out how we threw that away. Because obviously, like you mentioned, in the first half, we were in control. It was great. I just think also the fact that we haven't been taking our chances has been a huge issue for us, especially in the last few games. And having someone like Haaland, who was so prolific at the beginning of the season, now suddenly dropping off, and then you're not getting goals from Foden like we were before. I mean, Shirky's still doing the best he can. He's one guy, and then we still have Semenyo who came in. He's great, but it's so frustrating that we threw that away. And it's also difficult to pinpoint what went wrong. Do you know what I mean? It's like, because I would like the answers. I would like to know what went wrong. But we also have to give a lot of like I have a lot of respect for Spurs because whatever Thomas Frank said during the halftime, it clearly worked because they came out and they were the better team in the second half. We didn't even have a shot on target. So like that's just not acceptable personally. I'm not Pep, but I think that's totally unacceptable.
But were they the worst team? Oh, sorry, were they the better team or was Man City the worst team? Because it seems like a common theme over the past few games where City kind of fall off in that second half. How many times have you actually scored in the second half in your last few games?
And it's actually interesting that you brought that up. It's a good question, first of all, probably not a lot. And it's also, if we hadn't, I saw some ridiculous stat where it was like, if the games had ended in the first half, City would be 12 points clear of Arsenal. That says a lot.
It does say a lot.
That's like, are you joking? A game is 90 minutes. It's always been 90 minutes, guys. They haven't changed it. This is what you have to do. So it's very frustrating to see that happen. And then the biggest issue is we can never find space, like ever. Obviously, everyone's always suffocating us. But then in my mind, I'm like, okay, so what's the solution to that? If you're not going to get as much space in the box, right? What is your solution? You need someone who can shoot from outside the box. You need like, okay, I don't want to say take advantage of your set pieces, but you should be able to take advantage. Maybe not every time. But I was expecting someone like Marmoush to play, especially because in the previous game, he had scored as well, you know. And I think someone like him, he can bring something where you just give him space. He just needs a little bit of space outside the box and he can make something happen. So I was just frustrated. To be honest, I'm still feeling frustrated. And like going into the game against Liverpool, I'm like, are you joking? This is who we have to play now. So
I know, I'm so excited because you guys like to give goals away in the second late. We like to score late. It's a match.
Apparently. No, it's if we didn't have Donnarumma, I think a lot of our most recent games, we would have been embarrassed, which is just like, again, he can only do so much. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even be mad that we ended up conceding because he kept us in the game for a lot of the time. And it's obviously not just the Spurs game. Like recently, even against United. Are you joking? That could have easily been like a 7-0 situation. You know, sometimes these things happen, but hey, it's a lot of frustration.
Yeah, it's your fault United now sitting above us on the table.
I don't know what to
say. It could be the fact that Tariq is an amazing manager, guys. Come on.
Apparently.
I remember all of the jobs that I started. That first few weeks, I was like one of the best employees. After that, once it's settled, HR knew me.
You get comfortable.
HR knew me by name and surname. But no, I think just on that, I don't know, maybe it's like a culmination of so many seasons of competing at such a high level that now everybody in City's team just looks a bit leggy, but also coupled with the fact that a large part of your title-winning sides are now kind of gone. They are older, they have been injured.
Absolutely.
So look at the squad, look at the team, and you actually don't have guys who have been in the Pep run-in, which is showing. It's when things are
transition phase.
Yeah. So it's that cycle, right? And a lot of the guys don't know what it means come Feb for a Pep team, which is literally we batter everybody. And even somebody like almost Bernardo Silva, who had that little edge to him, he looks like it's just hard to believe that he's like 35. Yeah. That's the crazy thing.
And also like he's had a very long career. I think there was something like he's only missed 9 games in his 9-year career from injury. Okay. So that guy, he's a workhorse. And obviously he's not what he once was. Like he's not treble Bernardo. Do you know what I mean? And you can't even hold it against him. Like that's the trajectory. That's the way it works. But he's still Pep Guardiola's favorite person. Like he will never bench Bernie. And if he does, that's like a really big day.
Like I'm just gonna go back to the frustration point, and I mean the first goal that Solanke scored, Gay puts his foot down, and Solanke basically kicks right through it. It went to VAR, but I don't know. Did they even check for that, or they're only looking for offside?
Because it didn't sound like they checked for it.
There was a lot of controversy over there.
Yeah, that was obviously the start of it, because we can't deny that goal changed the trajectory of the game, and whoever scores, they the ones that have the upper hand, and if you're going to take advantage of that. I was like, oh, this is going to be disallowed. Even the commentators like, oh yeah, it's going to be disallowed, because he literally he kicked Mark Gay's leg for the ball to go in. So it's not even like it's Solanke's goal. Do you know what I mean? So I found that incredibly frustrating, but I never like to blame poor VAR calls as to why we couldn't get it over the line, because it's so much bigger than that. But obviously something like that would be frustrating. We can acknowledge that it's frustrating. And calls like that, like, what's the point of VAR? VAR is meant to see what is missed on the field, but VAR missing it. So it's like, then what you guys doing up there? Do you know? So of course that's frustrating. But it's just one of the reasons it affected the game, but we should have also just done better as a team.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I mean, post game, poor Rodri came out and he just completely let loose, and he's probably going to get a fine from the PGMOL for that outburst. Probably.
No.
They don't like insults.
Just because he didn't get sent off and
I
then
was
substituted.
I was so mad at that. I was so mad. Why?
But that's actually something else to point out. It's like he benefited from a poor call as well, And I think obviously, like, right after the game, you're in the emotions, you're feeling all these things, and they gave him a mic and he was like, okay, let's go, kind of thing. But that's another thing, for example, where that's another poor call on Spurs' behalf, if you look at it like that. And that's not, like, how are we? Well, we don't even group us there, but like, how are they consistently getting it wrong? Do you know what I mean? It's not, this isn't the first time, like week in and week out, there's always a call that someone's talking about. There's always an apology that comes out. Like, what are you supposed to do with an apology? Oh, you acknowledge you're wrong. Okay, cool. But then you haven't, and then moving forward, you still make poor calls. It's like, which one is it, guys? Which one is it? So there, you just add to the frustration.
Okay, I think we can put a pin in the City Spurs game review. Let's give Tara the spotlight over here. It's been a while. It's been a while since Liverpool won a game so convincingly in the Premier League. I don't know if you were optimistic or pessimistic before this game. It was Newcastle, so anything would have been possible on the day. But after conceding quite early, you guys just ended up running rampant over there. And talk me through that game.
Honestly, I haven't been optimistic or pessimistic. I've been taking each game as it comes. I've understood from the start of the season. I was surprised that we had like this 5-game winning run where we were just winning every game. At some point I was like, okay, something's got to give, and then it did, and then it wasn't so great after that, because I understand that Liverpool are building, it's like a whole other team. There's a whole lot of new signings. There are players that need to become accustomed to the Premier League. It's taken Vert 16 games to really find his footing and find himself. And I feel like it all, yes, exactly, Vert's showing his money worth. It all came together in the Newcastle game. All of it, Salah, Wirtz, Ekitike. To watch Ekitike and Wirtz makes me so excited, because I'm like, this is going to be spectacular over the next 5-6 years. The two of them, they're young enough that they can have a long run there at Liverpool. And now it's finally starting to click. And we're seeing it we saw that against Newcastle. Yes, conceding early, but then you know what? Coming back immediately. And that's what you need to see. It's been a long time since we've been on the back foot and then we've come back and we've won. But that is the Liverpool of old, And so for me, it was very exciting that happened, scoring 5 minutes after that first goal. And then it just continued, It was effective. Mo Salah even assisting Wirtz. I mean, people have been saying a lot about him, but sometimes you just need that calming force on the field. Sometimes he doesn't have to do spectacular things. And he's also been trying to find, he's new way of fitting into this Liverpool squad. Liverpool doesn't build a squad around one player. That's one thing about it, which is the thing that Isak was learning being a part of the Liverpool setup. At Newcastle, that entire setup was built around Alexander Isak. But with him coming into Liverpool, he's needing to find himself there. I know he's injured now and he's out and we almost don't miss him, but he is a massive signing. And once he does find his groove, that will also be incredible. But that's what I'm seeing now this weekend. So I am now, after this performance this weekend, I am now optimistic about facing City, especially after watching City, because as much as Liverpool have been struggling, each week they've been finding something else that they're doing that is right. Whereas for City, I feel like it's the opposite.
It's like we're playing Jenga and you pull in the pieces out of City and they're like crumbling down.
Exactly. And I feel like it's all going to culminate and come down to this Sunday where those two sides face each other. And I'm very optimistic that Liverpool has it in them. If Slot plays that same team and if they play the same way, I feel like they will come on top of that particular fixture. Some people are saying it's possibly a draw. For Man City, I feel like they have everything to play for as well, because the title race slipping out of their fingers. So this weekend is almost the most important fixture for them in terms of points-wise and the table. But for Liverpool, I mean, we can't deny that over the last 6 games, they've been struggling, they've been creating chances, and now they are actually scoring from those chances. The Slot's idea of football is to be more in control, more measured approach than Jurgen Klopp. And so fans have been frustrated. But now that it's coming together, I think fans have a lot to smile about. And after this game against Newcastle, I think everyone's all smiles.
I've still seen like a lot of Liverpool fans who have been unhappy with Arne Slot over the past couple of months. Even after you guys were so control the game and you guys were so dominant against Newcastle, there were still fans calling for Slot out and all of these things. Do you think that the guy must just be given as much time as possible and he will turn this team around and basically produce something in his image that he's been talking about that in press conference, saying that he wants to create his own team. He has his own vision for Liverpool. And I mean, now he's gotten signings and all of these players coming in. So it's going to take time. Like Rome wasn't built in a day.
I think it is going to take time. And I don't think it matters what the fans have to say with regards to this. The Liverpool released a roundtable video yesterday where, Arne Slot was talking about this. And maybe it was a bit of a propaganda video. Some people are saying it's propaganda, but he was sitting down with the directors and they were all on the same page, which basically says we're not getting rid of Slot. We believe in what he's doing. And that's what he was saying, thinking about the future. Signings now this window, no panic buying, because everything that we're doing now is for next season and the season beyond that. They're looking to the future, not 10 years in the future, the recent future, but not for tomorrow. They're not signing quickly so they can beat City. They're signing so that next season they are a formidable force. And so I am inclined to give a manager that opportunity, that chance. Liverpool also have proven that they have a reputation of sticking with the manager and giving them a chance. I know other teams haven't. I mean, Chelsea have had how many managers? Even Man United, keep on changing. But there's if you look at a team like City, there's merit in consistency, and sometimes you have to give a manager a chance. So I'm willing to wait it out. We are Premier League champions. So all of this criticism and Slot out and other teams making fun of us, that makes no sense to me. it makes no sense to me because we're Premier League champions. Did you forget? Did you
I
forget
think
that we are
sometimes.
playing Champions League? I feel
Yeah.
like that happened just the last year. What's going on with you?
I
And
think. Sorry, Tara. Like, I just want to, like, before this like thought leaves my head. So we have Dean in the chat saying, I think the slot out fire was ignited by Chubby being available. We got a backup manager for the rest of the season. And like you said, now you guys were champions last season, and I think that winning mentality and like just having nice things, it basically became so effective to every fan and every supporter that when you guys started losing, then everybody was like, alarm bells were going, why are we losing? We're not used to doing this. This isn't great. We don't want this. Change the manager. And I think that's why the fans are having they're standing currently where they are.
yes, because he almost did it in reverse. Like you would have expected him to come in and maybe make Champions League, make the top 4, and then maybe the following season win the Premier League, and then
Yeah.
everybody would be cheering him on. But because he did it the other way around, people are like, you know, it looks like we're sliding down. But like I said, this is basically a whole new team. And so many changes, you have to give it time. You can't just expect overnight miracles to happen. I know that it was the Liverpool supporters spent a long time suffering, and then they spent like the season in great joy. But let's give him that chance. And I know that Alonso, I know there were talks there. There were rumors that he was having talks with Liverpool. I don't think that they're getting rid of Slot. I honestly don't. And like I said, they wouldn't have had that round table and sat and spoke openly about the new signings and the future of the club with Arne Slot if he was going to be sacked at the end of the season.
Yeah. One last thing before we move on from this fixture, and the 4th goal was scored by Konate. We know that
Yes.
he's had a lot of things happening off the pitch. So he's lost somebody very close to him, and there's been this whole contract dispute. Is he going to sign? Is he going to be off at the end of this at the end of the season? How good was it as the Liverpool fan, as a supporter, seeing somebody sort of like conquer some sort of adversity to get that 4th goal, get that dominant win at the end of it all, and just seeing all the teammates surrounding him, hugging him, patting him, being there for him?
Now, it's very special, of course, and I obviously it's always so emotional. I think that's what Liverpool really does to us. It tugs at our heartstrings all the time because there's always these fantastic stories. But I think the thing about that, him coming back and scoring that goal, really special. It's like a fairy tale story, and everybody, even Allison, running to hug him and just be there for him, and him in tears. Obviously, like we are in tears with them as well. But also, he's been struggling. He was struggling before that as well. There have been moments when I've been so irritated with Konate. I've been like, can we bench him, please? Like, I don't understand. So for me, it's very special that he's coming back and also showing that he's a world-class player, because he is. And I hope that he does sign that new contract. But very, very special moment, of course. That 4th goal, we didn't need it, but you know what? He needed it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you guys signed Jeremy Jacquet now for the end of the season, so he'll be a new centre back at the starting of next season, just in case Konate ends up leaving. But I mean, squad depth is never a bad thing as well.
Exactly. So whether hopefully he stays, squad depth, as you said, that's the thing that we need. It's the thing that Tottenham was complaining about not having.
But they were fine.
30,
they were fine. Okay.
We opened that wound real quickly.
That wound was
I
just
just
about to
put
heal,
a plaster on.
Final fixture that we're going to be reviewing, Jo. Arsenal versus Leeds. I think there were some people on social media that were hoping, they were praying for a Leeds win or a Leeds draw, but Arsenal just came through and
You
did
can
the
say
business, eh?
us, hey? You can name
Yeah,
us.
I don't know why.
We are in-
It's like
we are-
he
yeah.
has many accounts. He's one of the accounts that wanted it.
It's like one account.
He has an agenda that United's going to win the league.
Oh, he's not the only one. Trust me.
I think he and Miggs, maybe they have something going on there.
Same
Yeah, no, I think
I learned from the Delulu King, man. Like, I mean,
yeah, president of the Lululand, correct.
Yeah.
You jumped on that train.
Nah, please. Yeah, look, I think it was after the week we had, the performance we had against United, and then we had the Champions League game. Everybody expected, and especially because Leeds were on such a good run. And at home they are a different kettle of fish. I think it was a very mature performance. We were talking about Spurs lacking squad depth. I think it showed in the team we fielded against United. Then we fielded a almost completely different team in the week, and then we went sort of back to full strength. And yeah, exceptionally well handled. It's nice to see when we score goals from corners again. I feel like we lose our identity when we score open play goals. So yeah,
When
getting
is
set
that?
piece goals. Yeah, getting set piece goals, and then I was upset that own goal lost his goal to Madueke. I really thought our summer signing own goal was going to get it, because he was in.
second highest scorer for you guys. Eh?
He was in line for a bonus. He was in line for a contract extension.
Shameless.
That second half, to be able to bring on Gabi Jesus and then Odegaard as well, Martinelli, it speaks of a team that's ready to go the full distance. And in games where it's going to be tough, opposition are not going to want us to do what we normally do. Yeah, I think it was good. I think we then followed it up with a subpar performance yesterday, but again, the ball was in Chelsea's court, so happy with how things happened last
That
night.
wasn't a football match that happened last night. That was terrible.
That was
absolutely trash.
I believe it was a snooze
woke up
fest.
just at the end, they scored the goal and then just went back to sleep. But yeah.
Talk to me about Marino.
Yeah, no, obviously very upset just because of the sort of role that he plays in the squad, being a midfielder, striker, possible centre back if we ever need it. I mean, to replace somebody like that in the transfer window is hard, because you got to sign 3 players, and he's that Swiss Army knife that you always love, always willing to play any position, and came up with clutch goals this season, last season. But yeah, I think the squad and the recruitment we did in the summer is really good. So thankfully, we're not feeling it. Like to believe. It's been 1 or 2 games since he's been confirmed to be out. So yeah, let's see. I think the biggest thing, if anything, of these last few seasons, maybe Arteta's learned, is that if you are going to play them into the ground, at least have cover.
Yeah.
And I think that was the recruitment plan. So we're still going to keep the same practices by playing the same 11 or similar 11s all of the games back to back. But we've also got some good guys on the bench. So yeah, upset that he's not going to be part of the journey, but hopefully he gets back before.
And I think that's like at the starting of the season, that was the difference between like you guys going on this like huge run to try and win that Premier League this season finally. And it's always come down to like, when are you guys getting your players getting injured? It's always around February, March time. There's always like, there's never enough cover. And I think Arteta and his team, they just went all out to get as much like depth as possible. You guys ended up getting Nkapie, Mosquera, and then getting Zubamendi in, who I think has been probably one of your top 3 players of the season. I think his role in midfield has been amazing. So yeah, I think like your depth, amazing, and you guys really actually just have a chance this season.
Yeah.
Why didn't you mention Gyökeres?
Hey?
Why didn't you mention Gyökeres?
I will never do that.
He's upset that Man United didn't sign him.
I think we got the better player. So I don't know.
Yeah, you're not the first person to say that.
He scored one goal to win it for them, and now we got the bit. But yeah, 2 things just on that. You said, normally Feb's only started, bro. We still got a lot of games. Injuries could still come about, but I think it's really it's kind of showing now in the way that it's hitting Liverpool, in the fact that they've got no backline and no cover. It's hitting City in the way that Haaland's been stretched to his absolute limbs. So depth sometimes doesn't always mean having the best players, but just having capable players to step in. So I think, in recent years, we've had guys that were there, but the level sort of drops. It's very hard now sometimes to see if there's a drop in level because the players are ready. I'm gonna take
catching strays.
Hated that one. She hated that.
Yeah, look, in that opening few games, there were certain chances that he was missing. I was like, where did I see this before? And it was also a striker that came from Portugal to play in the Premier League. And he was hitting the crossbar, he's hitting the upright. And then he was like one-on-one, and the defender somehow caught up with him, even though he had like a head start. So, there were similarities, but I think Nunes found his feet eventually. And
yes, thank you.
Obviously, it's maybe speaks to the level of quality and the difference in quality between the Portuguese league and the Premier League. Very few players come and do exceptionally well, maybe for like Bruno Fernandes, who really who hit the ground running and things of that nature. But I think it's we're probably in the best position to go on and win a few things since maybe like 22-23, when we just signed Jesus, Zinchenko, and we were flying. So fingers crossed, guys.
No,
I don't know
not
what's going to happen if you don't come out of it, right?
I'm not crossing any
I think they're
fingers.
going to be crossing fingers for you.
No way.
You just better do it. Okay, if it's not
I'm not
now,
crossing any
sometime this
fingers.
week, please. Sometime this week. But
Okay, cool. Let's wrap that in a nice, tidy bow, and let's go on to our preview, and that is Liverpool versus Man City. Anfield is going to be absolutely boosting this weekend.
Yeah.
Let's start with you, Ash. Like, going to Anfield after that dominant performance last weekend, after City's performance last weekend. Let's start with your take, and then I'll move over to Tara afterwards.
So I think we need to first just look at this, right? Because if you actually look at the last 5 games between City and Liverpool's last 5 games, we actually have the same form. It's 3 draws, a win, and a loss, okay? But it's what you're coming off the back of. And obviously, like you mentioned, Liverpool coming off the back of a very dominant performance. I mean, I have a lot of praise for Ekitike. I think he's great. I think versus, like you mentioned, he's showing now why they paid what they paid for him. Sometimes it just takes some time. So obviously the momentum for Liverpool going into this is great. That's great for them. We still have another game, though, before we play. So obviously we are playing tonight. We are playing Newcastle. Your shame for them. It's like been quite rough, to be honest. And especially on the road for them, it hasn't been great. And I'm taking your comfort in the fact that we at least have a 2-goal aggregate, like going into this game. So what I'm hoping is going to happen is the fact that the performance tonight can kind of be like a springboard, at least for some confidence. Do you know what I mean? Like, so that the Spurs game is not what we're remembering going into the game against Liverpool. We kind of need to pull a Ted Lasso, and everyone just needs to be a goldfish and just forget about that. Okay. But obviously I'm very nervous going into it because with their attack firing the way it is at the moment, because also I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but the last 2 games for Liverpool, they've scored like a lot of goals. Like it was 4, and then in the Champions League, there was 6, if I'm not mistaken. So that must be nice. What's that like? To score goals. I feel like we are so it was right. Oh man, that just doesn't make me feel bad at all. So obviously, like, your attack is doing very well, and our defense is where we seem to be dropping off a bit. So I'm nervous going into it, but anything can happen in a fixture like this. Sometimes there are certain fixtures in which form goes out the window, and I feel like sometimes when it comes to the top 5 or top 6 teams, whatever, playing each other, it's generally that. I think best case scenario for City, obviously we get a win at Anfield. I don't know. I'm honestly looking at best case scenario being a draw. Because I'm also not really viewing. See, from the beginning of the season, I didn't say City were going to win. Like I didn't say that this was going to be our season. I actually got a bit caught up in the Chelsea what they did at the Club World Cup. I was like, oh, maybe we should pay attention. Now, obviously a lot has happened. I fully think it's Arsenal's season because we are also in a bit of a transition phase with new we have new like squad players and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not the more confident one going into the game this weekend, that's for sure.
And it's quite interesting sorry.
No, go ahead.
It's quite interesting how you said you were going in and not thinking that this was going to be Man City season, whereas I saw it as Arsenal, let's be honest, they always somehow mess it up close to the end. And I thought that by the middle of the season, you know, Man City was going to go clutch and they were going to win every single game and they were going to then overtake Arsenal. That's how I saw this season playing out. Who knows? There's still a possibility.
But then you need, the problem is now you're relying on Arsenal to drop points. Do you know what I mean? It's like even if City won every game until the end of the season, if Arsenal aren't dropping points, it's fully in their hands. And as much as we've enjoyed the treble of second place and all that kind of stuff,
who's enjoyed it? Who's enjoyed it? Nobody on the call has enjoyed it. I think Dave enjoyed it.
Absolutely. And I'm sure Arsenal
haters today.
And this is why Arsenal hates City as well, though. I'm sure we hurt you guys, like, you know, over the years. But I just thought, like, again, like the way you guys have approached the season, coming into it with a lot of squad depth, which I think has been the difference. And also, I just want to say, like, I don't feel like there's one player in Arsenal that's standing out. That's like, wow, except Declan Rice, maybe. But it's like, everyone's just doing what
they're overlooking own goal here.
You see, shameless, absolutely shameless. But it's like looking at all of that, everyone's doing their job. Do you know what I mean? It's not an individual, it's a team sport. So it's all nice to have individual players that stand out, like we had Haaland for a while. But look at what happens when he's not firing on all cylinders, you know? We clearly feeling it. So I think that Arsenal's approach to it, they've been building for however many years that Arteta has been there. And I know people make fun of Arteta. I'm one of them, unfortunately. But you want to give a manager time to build something. And isn't that what he's been doing? So I'm getting to the point where I might have to accept that. Like, Arsenal are going to win the league.
It seems like it. And it's going to be very tough for the Arsenal supporters in my life. I'm going to have to deal with them, you know, probably for years. Probably for years.
And the whole world is going to. The whole world.
And the level of delusion, because they're talking about quadruples here and all of that. I'm like, wow.
Just get one. Let's just start with one, guys.
Focus on one. Yeah. Focus on one. I'm very excited about this weekend's match against Man City. And I think it's all the things that you mentioned, Ash, but also like Haaland, he's having a drought, you know. And even though Ekitike may take less shots than Haaland, the shots that he does take, they're like higher quality opportunities. Like he carries
he's converting
ball.
Them. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's now he's gaining momentum. And him and Wirtz, like we mentioned, that partnership, and we've seen what it's done now in the previous game. And I think that that's definitely going to play a role now in the game coming up against City. So City starts really well, but then they fall off in that second half. And I feel like Liverpool come back in the second half and then they start trying to play really well. So I believe that if Liverpool doesn't concede in the first half, I think they will go on to win the game. Obviously, a draw would be great for Arsenal and maybe great for you. But I think a Liverpool win, which would be even better for Arsenal, which is terrible. But anyways, I think it's probably going to be a win for Liverpool. I'm quite confident in that. Just Arne Slot must stick to what he's been doing and who he's been playing. I know there are injuries because I love Frimpong. Great pace. He's absolutely incredible. I think he's a really exciting player. And unfortunately, he has an injury. So he's out. But I like what's happening right now. Szoboszlai, Konate, Mo Salah. It's every player is playing their part. And I think they're going to pick apart that, as you said, Man City defense. You have Rodri there alone, and he's not going to know where to go. He can't follow Verts.
But also, Rodri hasn't been, like, we can all acknowledge that since he came back from his injury, he hasn't been Rodri yet. And unfortunately, with that situation, it's like, in order to get back to what you were, you have to play. You have to get match fit. You have to be involved. But it's like, brother, man, what do you mean? You're constantly getting yellow cards and you just get sent off. Then it's like, it's frustrating to see that, given the quality we know he has and what he's capable of. But it's almost like it kind of messed with the system a little bit, because we had developed quite a nice thing that was going on with Nico Gonzalez, because it was something crazy. Like when Rodri came back, then we started losing. And I'm not blaming him. I think there's a lot of issues, I'm not saying it's just him, but it is something to acknowledge that unfortunately he's not there yet. And now we have to wait for him to get there.
Is Shirky also injured?
Shirky, they need to check for tonight if he's gonna play. That'll be a massive loss, because Shirky's a problem. Nah, he might not play tonight. He might not play tonight. He'll play on the weekend, hopefully, because where the heck are we going to get our creativity from? Although I will say Semenyo is obviously also like someone to watch out for. Like he really is. And if we had Doku, that would have been great, because he can at least, do his little thing. But yeah, it's just, I don't know what's going to happen this weekend. And I'm quite nervous about it.
What I've noticed is that when Rodri wasn't playing, then it would be Nico Gonzalez as well as Dejani Reinders playing together, and they would basically do what Rodri did together.
Yeah, it's two
But since Rodri's come back, both of them has been taken out of the team more often than not, and then they would like come on individually, like not together. And I think that's like very apparent in how City's been set up. Then Phil Foden would come on for the last 10 to 15 minutes as well. Shirky would start, and it's just like there wasn't any sort of consistency after Rodri came back. There were too many, like, I know Pep always has this roulette that he changes so many people in his team, and normally it used to pay off for him. But I just think that he's been missing a trick this season with how he's been doing his rotations.
So you bring Rodri back in, and I think the problem you had with Nico Gonzalez was he was being run into the ground. So he was trying to cover that Rodri, and then you were getting caught in transition so often that he used to come up clutch, but there's only so much that you can do to prevent the inevitable. It's very similar to, I think, how maybe Liverpool started the season, where there were so many games that you wanted late at the death. It's not sustainable, right? It's nice, it's exciting, it really pulls all the fans in, but it's not something that you can maintain, which is what's happening with City. Rodri coming back, he's had to get up to speed, and I think why he struggled is the league as a whole have improved. I think every team has strengthened in a way that's maybe not signing specific, but they've changed tactics. It's become more physical. Every season we always talk about it gets better and better and better. So it gets a bit harder for him to come back and maybe sort of give a 7 out of 10, because a 7 out of 10 last season is now actually like a 5.5 to 6 out of 10. So you're actually dropping one off. So I think the rise in form of Verts with the sort of confidence that Ekitike plays with, coupled with the fact that City's defense are probably, like Dean's saying, like Frimpong's legs, like wheat picks now. It seems like everybody's having a field day with it. Even Bodo Glimp had a field day with that defense. There's also only so much that Donnarumma can stop.
Yes, so exactly.
There's a law of averages, right? If you're going to face so many shots, some of them are going to go in, and that's unfortunate. You can't save them all.
Yeah, no, you can't. So that would be insane.
So I think it's going to be an exciting game. I think it's going to be open. Also, last thing, just talking, I think you had mentioned Haaland's drought. His drought is also like, I don't think he scored at Anfield or something of that nature. Like, he doesn't score against Liverpool at Anfield. He scores against them at Etihad. So you're also getting a striker, your main guy, who's not scoring in many games, but also specifically doesn't score many goals against Liverpool and specifically at Anfield. So that's you're just adding everything into the pot and
put manmush on, mix it up,
Yeah.
like. But I do want to say, like,
Egypt, that would be lovely. Salah against
But
Mamouche.
Semenyo's there though.
yeah, and also what I wanted to mention about the defense, like, because I know you mentioned Bodo Glimt and stuff like that. Obviously, Mark Gay can play this game. Obviously wasn't eligible then, so we do have that has come in, and also I want to just highlight Kusanov. As much as he's young and inexperienced, I think he's been doing a really good job. With obviously being thrown into it, like, hey guys, come and save us, kind of thing. So I think that they have individual moments of really positive things that you can see, okay, if we can get this right consistently, that'll be really good. But that entire back line is like learning to play with each other for the first time, obviously bringing Donnarumma in, all that kind of stuff. But like on the day, the players that we have can get it over the line. It's just a matter of if they can actually do that. And coming off the back of the past few performances, because it's not just that I felt like we lost to Spurs. We didn't even lose. Do you know what I mean? Like, we drew to them, but it was fully a loss for us because we threw away our lead. But that's also not something that's new, because I think it was last season we threw away a 3-0 lead in the Champions League, and then it ended up being 3-3. And it's just something that we just keep doing. So I hope that everyone just had the best defensive practice this entire week. Okay. And they build this wall that the Liverpool players cannot pass. But I mean, that is a bit, maybe it's wishful thinking.
It is wishful thinking.
Definitely. She's like, it absolutely is.
Let's just conclude this preview real quick with some predictions. But we have a comment here in the chat. I don't know if you want to take this one, Tara. If it's windy, Virgil van Dijk might struggle again.
Yo.
No, they're just being salty. I'm actually very pleased with Virgil van Dijk, and I think that he's going to be great come this weekend. Win or no win.
So on that, give us your prediction for this weekend's game, Liverpool versus Man City.
Okay. I feel maybe it's a bit too optimistic for me to say that we won't be conceding any goals at all. But maybe a 2-1, maybe even a 3-1.
Ooh.
That was just a real statement.
No, that'll be painful for us if we do that. Like I said, at the moment with what I've seen, maybe I'll feel differently tomorrow after the performance tonight, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, we got this. But right now, given all of what we've spoken about, I think it's going to be a draw. And I cannot believe I'm saying another 2-2 draw, but that's what I'm going to go with.
I won't be happy with a draw.
I won't be happy with a draw either. Like, that's just me that's as optimistic as I can be right now, given the evidence that my team has shown me.
Okay, what does Arsenal say over there?
What is Arsenal? I think probably Liverpool's going to be up for it, especially because I think United might have something for Spurs. So it's all psychological, right? So Liverpool don't want that gap to grow. Liverpool show up. I think it's probably, I'm going to lean 2-1. I think City is going to score one. I don't think it's going to be any of the recognizable scorers. Depending on who the centre backs are, I think they maybe grab a goal. That's maybe really trying to be.
Mark Gay.
Well, yeah. So I brought him in FPL, right? And I actually didn't catch the first half, and then I saw he had like that own goal. I was like, oh, bruh, that's like disgusting. And then
they even gave it to Solanke.
Yeah, so eventually gave it off. But yeah, I think it's going to be 2-1. I think Liverpool maybe have too much. Anfield will be pumping, and again, I think just a little bit of that psychological factor if United do manage to beat Spurs.
So last week I predicted a Newcastle win at Anfield. I'm not going to be that stupid again.
We were off last week were bad.
Like I actually think I don't even think City is going to score this weekend. I think it's 2-0 to Liverpool at Anfield, and I think that they're going to continue that domination. I was left with egg on my face last week, man.
Alan, will he stay on the bus or what? Is he just not going to feature?
He hasn't been featuring for the past couple of weeks anyway, so.
Heavy. Ash, this is your friend, eh?
It hurts
Now
me.
your responsibility now. For blood.
Just calling it like I see it, guys. Just calling it like I see it.
Exactly. That's the thing,
Yeah. So
I mean, I hope it looks like that.
I don't know. Like, you're probably gonna have to like buy me a Gatsby or something if it does
I don't
come
know if
through.
you're jinxing
I
me.
was
will
very
buy you a
surprised that
Gatsby
out of
if it
the
happens.
three, Tara didn't say that you want to get to know us more. Like,
Yeah.
you have 3 guests. There's 3 people on the call right now. Let's just form an alliance. But okay, no, it's fine. I mean, Cristiano Ronaldo, it is what it is.
How dare you
How
choose
dare you.
We are
Ronaldo?
going to do a quick preview for Man United versus Spurs because I don't really want to jinx anything. I want to try something. If I say Man United thrice, do you think Miggs will appear randomly?
No, he won't.
Man
He can't hear
United.
you. It's
Man
too loud.
United.
You can't hear
Man United. I
nothing.
tried, guys.
don't
I
even know if he's
tried.
still
I
in the
tried.
house.
Okay, I know that they are the other side of North London. Talk to me about Spurs. Do you think that they have it in them to get one over United this weekend?
Yeah, I think they take great confidence from last week's game. And to maybe take points of both Manchester clubs in successive weeks is something I think like it's weird. Spurs don't get up for all the big or for the smaller games, but these are the games that they really like banana skin games. We keep saying that every week, Man United's really going to get tested. We thought after the City, Arsenal would be that test. Then we thought after the Arsenal, Fulham's going to be that test. Unfortunately, it's a team like Spurs that's really going to be the test because you don't know which team's going to turn up. Is it the team that turned up in the second half, which I think they sacrificed Romero, to be honest. At halftime, they like, okay, bro, you must go.
He was the best
and then something happened because, maybe start with him on the bench and then the first half goes well for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Spurs have that. They have that in them, and I think they probably do turn up. It's going to be for Man United to now push on and continue the form. And I don't think you guys have done very well with that. But it's also the 4th game into Carrick's tenure, so let's see what he can do.
The honeymoon is still there, guys. The honeymoon is still there. Ash, you come from a Manchester household. You have to represent.
What does he do during the week?
Right
like
now.
when you're watching City and all that, like what is he's got so much time to practice, eh?
So much time. So much time to sit and let the Delulu. Yeah, sometimes, but he has too much time to let the Delulu like turn in his mind, because what else is he supposed to do? I totally get what you're saying, and Spurs is one of those teams where you can't really predict because they are such an interesting team, that one, honestly. But I have been very surprised by Man United, and in a way that I'm like, these guys believe. Like, I think that's been the biggest shift for them, is like their mentality has changed a lot, okay? Because, for example, when they threw away their 2-0 lead, the goal came very quickly after that. That third goal with, I think it was Bruno and Šeško. Like, that happened very quickly. So in their mind, it's not okay, we've thrown that away. Now our heads go down. Now we kind of like give up. I think they really believe. Like, they believe to the point where, I mean, the fans are saying that they could even go all the way. Do you know what I mean? So I actually think that they are going to get the better of Spurs, which I hate that because it's like at least one Manchester team can do it. Do you know what I mean? But otherwise, worst case scenario, I think they'll draw. I don't necessarily think that Man United will lose to Spurs. Maybe Miggs is in my mind, is in my ear, but too much. Who knows?
Let's get your I don't know how you actually feel about Man United, but I assume as a Liverpool supporter, you don't like us very much.
I understand that Man United think they are turning things around, because that's usually what happens when Man United has a new manager. Then it's like they go on the surge and then they're like unbeaten in 5 games, but then they just united again. But anyways, that's not the point of this. The point really is what I wanted to ask you is, when was the last time Man United beat Spurs?
Ooh, I think it's been a while. I think it's been a while.
Yeah, so there's that. They seem, I know Ash was saying that they her bogey team, but perhaps it's your bogey team. And then
We have too many bogey teams, so I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
you
fair.
have to pick one.
statistically, Man United are probably looking like the better team going into this particular fixture. But what you guys were saying is right. With Spurs, it's unpredictable. They are giant killers. They do show up when it comes to the bigger teams, and Man United are a bigger team. So
I think somebody like
probably
Xavi Simons is moving into this role within the Spurs team, and it seems like he's starting to adapt to the Premier
He had
League,
a
like
great
same way
game
that
against
Wirtz
us.
is doing as well. So I think he will be like the biggest cog in that Spurs team that's going to sort of be the outlet for anything that's going to happen. And now I don't know if Solanke is actually injured or if it was just like precautionary to take him off at the end of that game. But I mean, if Solanke starts, if they continue where they did last weekend, it could be scary days for us this weekend. But I'm just going to go straight to predictions right now, and I'll begin. I just want that kid to get a haircut, man. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for United.
Shame, Frank. He's been through the most.
Jay, what do you
I
think?
just went on a wild goose chase to try and see the last time you guys beat them. I think it was
Yeah.
2022.
Yeah, it's been a while, man.
That was a little fact-finding mission there. One of the losses included, obviously, last season's Europa. Yeah, I think I want to say that I don't have any faith in Spurs, but I also don't believe that United can continue the run. Obviously, married into a Man United fan, so yeah, I kind of, for the sake of the household, we needing some positivity to continue, right? Yeah, so I think it actually might be like United. I think it's going to be 3-2. I think there's always been goals, and continuing the vein of form that you guys have had, where you score quite a bit, but also give up a bit. I'm going to go 3-2. It seems like a very common score between you guys as well.
That's fair. That's fair. Ash, let's hear what you are thinking.
I'm going to go for a draw. I do think it's a draw. If any team is going to get a win, I really do think it's going to be Man United, to be honest. Like, I know we've just said, like, can't remember the last time, but there's been a lot of those scenarios in which people haven't done things or teams haven't done things. And Solanke is the perfect example, never scored against City. Let me score 2. So I do want to see a lot of goals. I'm going to say 3-3.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Also not out of the realm. Yeah, there's been so many goals in this game.
Yeah. I'm going to just say maybe by the weekend I'll feel differently, but today, right now, I'm going to say 3-3.
Clip it. Yeah. We'll hold it to it.
Definitely.
Otherwise I might have egg on my face. Who knows? Yeah. Let's see how this goes.
Carter, take us home. What do you think is going to happen in that game?
I don't think Man United's going to come away with the win, but I don't think they're going to lose either. I think it's going to be 2-2. That's where I'm looking at it. Definitely conceding goals, both sides. Yeah, 2-2.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. I respect it. So, no United losses. That's all that I'm taking away from this, and I like it. I like it.
No, you'll continue on this unbeaten run until,
considering where we were a few weeks ago, like in terms of where the club was, I'm taking this all day. Yeah. If my team finishes top 4, I'm happy with it. We get Champions League next season. That's all that matters to me right now.
So, can I just ask you something? Do you think that Man United will end on top of Liverpool on the table by the end of the season? So I have a bet going on another show that I do on SABC, and the bet is that I say Liverpool will end on top of Man United, hopefully in the top 4, and the other person says that Man United will end on top. What do you think? How do you think the end of the season will play out?
So I predicted United to finish 6th in the league this season. I think Man United and Liverpool can finish 3rd and 4th.
Ooh.
I don't think Aston Villa
Sure.
has what it takes
I also don't.
to continue this run until the end of the season. I think Villa drops out and United and Liverpool takes third or fourth. And I don't know which one is going to finish third and fourth.
You have to for the bet. You have
Yes.
I'm not a betting guy. You were
I
betting
don't
guy.
bet either. No, I've lived that life. As soon as I lost out on that Champions League, I was guaranteed generational wealth. It didn't happen. I'm not a betting guy anymore. Okay, I'm stopped. I'm done now.
What has Betway done to you?
There's
bro?
a question here. Do you think United's gonna finish? Let's get some definitive answers
So
here.
will it be Liverpool in third, Man United fourth?
Okay, I'm gonna go United third, Liverpool fourth. That's what I'm doing.
I love
That's
it.
what I'm doing.
I love it.
And if
And
you take,
why I
take
think
emotion
that-
out of it,
If you take emotion out of it, is it because you only play?
No. I'm just thinking
once
like
a week
statistically,
and, yeah.
United have the break every week. They will play games fresher than Liverpool.
That's a very good point.
That's literally the only logic I'm going with right now.
I think some of the questions that you have when a team gets a new manager is that there's never time to embed tactics because you play so many games. The thing that works in Man United's favor is that every week you can you have time to review the game, you have time to tweak things, and then you have time to set a game plan for the team that's coming. So in that regard, I do feel if you guys win this game and you lose the first game and the guy still doesn't get a haircut, then I think I'm going to go Liverpool. That will be torture. Then it's like somebody took a piece of his hair and they have a voodoo doll going and he's never going to cut his hair.
This poor guy.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that third and fourth, it's actually... it's weird because, I mean, if we have some time, we obviously jumped into the January transfer window and saying, I think that Villa strengthened well in this window, so I think they might cement that top four. But it's an interesting point that you make. I mean, because it's also Unai Emery does have
the Europa League though. They are in more competition.
They have a lot more competition.
So,
no, for sure.
Yeah. So, like Jason said, we have a final segment over here for January top signings. I'm just going to ask everybody if you can just give one signing for this past window, and how you think that signing will sort of push that team forward to doing better for the second half of the season. Ash, I'll start with you. I have a feeling there's going to be some bias over here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which 100%. One of the two signings?
Yeah, no, I'm going to say Mark Gay because I think the fact that we lost both of our starting centre backs, like Diaz and Vardy, at the same time. And also the thing with Mark Gay is he's not there to replace either of those two in the squad. I think he's there to replace Stones. I forgot Stones still plays for City. I'll be honest. Like, I was like, oh, him. Okay. But I'm going to say Mark Gay. I think he's such a lovely person, to be honest. Like, I've watched some of his videos and he's very focused. He wants to learn. He obviously in his mind, like, he's going to learn from Mr. Pep Guardiola. But I think in terms of what we needed for our team, getting someone like him in, I never expected it. And I'm really sorry because I realized he was meant to go to Liverpool. But we'll take really good care of him. So that's my answer.
Tara, give me
now?
signing of January.
Listen, I agree with her. That is a great signing. And I think, especially when it comes to like the title race, you want a signing like that. The other signing also, Antoine Semenyo, that's amazing because it boosts City's attacking depth. I mean, it adds flexibility there as well. So I think that's a massive signing. And then you couple that with them having signed Mark Gay, and I think they have a winning recipe. They've found cover on both sides. So very good signings for City now. I don't know if it was panic buying, and yes, you got Gay out from under us, but you know what? It's what it is.
Just what we needed.
I'm going to go for the business that Wolves did this past window. And it's not that they're going to escape relegation. I think that ship has sailed. But I think that they just want to try and include some, like wow factor until the end of the season, get their fans back on side and just show that they can still produce something, and that's the signings of Angel Gomez from Marseille, as well as Adam Armstrong from Southampton. So I think that both of them arrived on deadline day, and as a United fan, like, I know the talent that Angel Gomez had. I think he's been dealt a bad hand with injuries over in France. So I think this is a really good opportunity for him to try and get things back on track. And then hopefully Wolves.
And now we will
Is it
never
me
know.
that's frozen or is it them?
No,
that's
no.
frozen?
It's them.
Oh,
As
it's
we were
them
getting
that's
into
frozen.
Wolves.
Oh, both went. There we go.
There.
We're back.
We
We're
missed
back.
everything you said.
When you guys holding down the fort for us,
Yeah.
we actually just had
Yeah.
a
Those 5
strategic.
seconds.
Yeah, we just had a
we
strategic break.
panicked for moments.
Yeah, no, I'd mentioned Villa, and I'm gonna stick with him. I think Watkins hasn't been doing well, and I think Morgan Rogers has basically been carrying the ship for them. A guy like Tammy Abrams coming back to a ground he's familiar with, obviously needing form, leading up to the World Cup as well. So either he does exceptionally well and plays his way into contention, or he pushes Watkins to the point where, England's got their number 2 guy firing. And then also somebody like Douglas Luiz. I think they lost Boubacar Kamara to injury. So getting a guy like Douglas Luiz again, who knows the Prem, who knows
the
Villa,
club.
knows the
Knows
club.
them, yeah.
I think it's probably the push that guarantees them Champions League football. Because I think you get fifth get you Champions League rather. So
I think that's dependent on how the English teams do in the Champions League this season.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, I
top
mean,
four
yeah,
and the
look
first
at
spot is-
there's a good chance that the 5th spot also gets confirmed, because I think there are a lot of English teams that made it through to that.
Yeah.
I think all of them except maybe Newcastle.
No.
Newcastle.
Everybody
except
Newcastle in the
Newcastle
playoffs.
are directly through. So
Yeah.
there's a high probability that 5th also gets Champions League, and 5th isn't bad. I mean, we used to get slated for 4th to get Champions League. Now you can see my go to 5th, and it's like, the league has changed. But I think Villa definitely, and I think it's Unai's guys as well would really galvanize them.
I'm surprised nobody said Jean-Philippe Mateta.
I was going to ask about Palace.
Nobody.
I was going to say Palace is crazy. But what is he going to do though? Like, honestly, Mateta, like, you've got Strand Larsen and you've got Evan Gussan from Villa, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Villa,
what is Mateta going to do? Because he was also like,
going
hey, guys,
for
I
an
want to leave.
operation.
Yeah, it's out for what, 3 to 4 months.
3 to 4 months surgery.
Yeah.
So that was
Sickness.
true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's now
snap.
3
I
to
didn't
4 months ago. Yeah,
realize.
that's definitely out of World Cup as
End
well.
of the season, yeah.
Yeah, and he had just played himself into France's team, doing so well. Made the World Cup squad, 28, 29?
Yeah.
That would have been ridiculous. But okay, you go. You have a chance here, my friend. You can spearhead the attack with Kylian.
Your
Cool,
France's
man.
team, eh?
That is our show for this week. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Lovely as always, Ash. Amazing to have you on the show, Tara. Where can the people find you? Tell us if you have anything coming, if you want to plug anything, let our guys know.
Okay, well, you can find me always on social media at the Tara Lee on Instagram and TikTok, but try not to hate on me too much, especially if you are a Man United supporters. I have enough Man United in my comment sections. And then, of course, SABC Sport, as you mentioned, Goodhope FM. I'm there on weekends doing amazing things. Sometimes I'm even singing. And anything else, I will let you guys know in terms of the acting things. So hopefully this can be a very busy 2026. And thank you very much, guys, for inviting me back. I know maybe I gave you a hard time here and there, but hopefully you'll invite me back again.
You're great.
The first of many. Ash, where can the people find you? Tell us if you have anything coming up.
Not yet, but keep an eye out. You guys can find us on social media. On Instagram, it's at the Manchester Derby 3.0. On TikTok, it's at the Manchester Derby 2.0.
Nice. Love it. Love it, Jay.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
What am I doing? Keeping my fingers crossed because apparently the people on the call don't want to do it. So
No,
all
no,
weekend,
no.
I'm going to try and do both bits. Yeah, at Jason_Ronnie on X predominantly. Yeah, I went on a bit of a retweeting spree last night after my team's victory. So yeah, most of the time I tweet. But yeah, obviously at Sportycast, and besides the football, there's probably a lot of golf that's coming up. So yeah, I'm going to try and interact with that as well.
Love that. I am at AFarker642 on all social media platforms. Cricket World Cup, T20 Cricket World Cup is starting soon, so probably going to be tweeting and posting a lot about that. But like Jason said, we are at Sportycast on every social media platform. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscribe over here. Smash that like button on this video. Share it with everybody, your mom, your dad, your sister-in-law's cousin, son. Like, we appreciate all the support. So thank you so much for everybody who showed up in the chat as well. The chat was boosting at one point. So thank you guys so much. And yeah, I think that is all from us this week. Have a fantastic week and enjoy the Premier League football this weekend. Peace.